Welcome back to Eat to Take Anime channel. I appreciate everyone listening. I got Brad here with me.
What's good?
And this topic is part one of a two-part series. The first part will be animated need to return, and the second will be reboot anime. So it's a pretty long list, especially when we get to the reboot. So we'll break it up in 2 sessions. And I'm sorry for the long layoff. It's been a lot going on, waiting for equipment to come through, some upgrades and stuff like that. That I'm still continue to upgrading, but we're back to regular videos. Brad, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good, How do you want to dive into this? What should we talk about first? The anime that needs to return or the anime that needs a reboot?
Well, reboot's coming second.
Okay. With that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and pick the first on the list and say that Hunter x Hunter definitely needs a return.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious answer. Some people watch Hunter x Hunter and realize or say that it's the best anime they ever seen. How could I disagree with that? Easily. It's not even finished. But, I digress. I did enjoy Hunter x Hunter. Not going to really speak on the hype, but
it had some peak fiction in there, man.
Nah, I enjoy Hunter x Hunter. It took me a while to watch it. I mean, with the hype. But I expected it to be flawless. Didn't end up being flawless. It's still good.
Yeah,
though.
No, I definitely agree. I could definitely say that the arc before the Chimera Ant arc.
What was that Heaven's Arena? No, Greed
Island. Thank you. Greed Island arc. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't know how you feel about this, but I personally feel like we could have actually been good without that arc. Like the only thing that really came from that was Bisky, and Bisky could have. You could honestly fit Bisky in any other arc, and it still would have worked out.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people like it. We spoke to a mutual friend of ours, and he's like, he likes the dodgeball, and now it's interesting. I know a few other guys that think the same thing, but
let's be honest. The only reason why people like the dodgeball or volleyball, whatever you want to call it, that mini game series was because of Hisoka. Hisoka's the GOAT.
Hisoka is super freaky. It's wild.
But he's also the GOAT.
I don't know.
He's freaky too.
My GOAT can't be super freaky like that.
My GOAT's super freaky.
Man, that's crazy. Watch out for the kids then, because
besides that part, I don't condone that. I don't condone that.
I hope so.
He is on his own with that one.
But I think a lot of chapters is already caught up. You're way more caught up than me, and I just think that now it has enough material to return back with no issues. Yeah,
definitely. We have about 2 arcs that we can basically touch on. Because right after the Chimera Ant arc, then they had to vote for like the new president of the Hunters Association, which ended where the anime actually ended at.
Yep.
But then they go directly into the arc where they introduce, I don't want to spoil anything for non-manga readers, but let's just say they introduce new characters, and you see more about people that deal with Netero after his death, and they definitely explore more on the Dark Continent.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we're not going to continue with that. I think that, like I said, it's unanimous. But this is something that people don't really know about a series. Seraph no N. Right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Very
That ended too soon.
Way too
However,
soon.
I get why it ended, because for some reason the anime company or whoever that did the production of the anime, they decided to create the show when it was still hardly any manga chapters out.
Yeah.
So you're making a series, and then you get caught up to the manga way too fast, and now you don't have any material to put out.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why fillers are originally created. To be honest, the show catching up to the author writing has been the constant thing, and that's been the problem. So that's kind of where fillers come involved. But to me, I still think it has a lot of promise. I still read the manga. I know you have. It takes a little while to come out, but there's a lot to elaborate with that.
You're definitely caught up in the manga. I'm way behind still.
Yeah, no, that's fire. It's fire. But long story short, for people that don't know about Seraph no N, it's about I feel like it's 2 MCs. I mean, there is one, but basically humanity trying to survive from vampires and stuff like that. So that's kind of the premise of it, and what the humans do is make contracts with demons to try to survive, and that's how they kind of combat the vampires. I love it. Pretty like down to earth, especially around the time of Shonen at that point in time, where they kind of lean towards the actual teen audience.
Yep.
So
Definitely.
I think if it comes back, I think that it could have a dark undertone, and I think it would benefit it a lot.
Most definitely, especially with the way shonen anime is actually heading towards anyway, especially with like the Dark Trio with JJK, Hell's Paradise, and Chainsaw Man. So it definitely fits right back into that category of anime style.
Yeah, I agree, and it stuck to the manga pretty well. So as long as they keep it with the manga, I think we're all good.
Yeah, definitely. So the third anime, it's probably, if not my most wanted anime to return, it's probably my second, and that is Hajime no Ippo.
Yep.
Hajime no Ippo it's not new. It shouldn't be new to anyone unless you just don't like sports anime. And trust and believe, I know some people out there that are just like, well, why would I watch a sports anime when I can watch the real thing? Well, the real thing is not as good as the anime. I'm sorry, it's just not.
It's not.
Like boxing in real life is cool, but everyone knows that boxing is rigged, it's fake, and it's scripted.
Yeah.
Not to say that anime is not scripted, because it is, because it's written, but the way it's done and how it's executed is way much better than the actual real thing, unfortunately.
I mean, that's for entertainment. Anime is solely for entertainment.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
But Hajime no Ippo, it ended off so early as far as where it was at in the actual manga, because I don't even know where the actual anime even ended off.
With 3 seasons.
Like with the manga, there's over, if not 1,500 chapters exactly, it's about close to 1,500 chapters in the manga now. So there's plenty of source material for the anime to definitely come back and have multiple seasons.
Yep, I agree.
I will absolutely love for Hajime no Ippo to come back. Will it? Don't really know.
Yeah, I haven't heard any buzz on that either, but I love it, especially with a lot of the sports anime come out to be fire with Haiku. Then we got Blue Lock dropping Ippo in that. Oh man, crazy.
Yeah, and Blue Lock's definitely taking the throne right now as far as like the sports anime. But if Ippo comes back,
oh yeah,
well, Blue Lock move to the side, because the way I look at it, Hajime no Ippo is definitely the king of sports anime, and that's just really it.
Nah, I agree. So for the next one, Maggie.
So Maggie, I was stuck between that and the Ippo. I didn't know which one was actually number one on my list, because I love both series so much.
I'm gonna still have to give it to Ippo. The longevity, MC is still, very much so entertainment.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's been up with literally the 80s.
I mean, not only that, the cast is strong. The cast is super strong too, and they all progress. Like Ippo does a lot with making sure the cast stays at least relatively in the same ballpark and interesting. But that was our last series, so we're not going to hound on that too much. But
Magi definitely does the same. With Magi, that's another series that ended pretty early. It didn't have as many chapters as far as Ippo, because like we discussed earlier, Ippo's been out for quite some time now. But it had relatively a good amount of chapters that were out there that could have been animated. So with that being the thing, we definitely need Magi to come back.
Yeah.
Now, as far as how they would do it, I'm not sure.
What you mean?
Because as far as which company would I really want, as far as because everyone knows that Studio Mappa is doing every anime right now.
Yeah, it's going crazy.
And the only production company that I can see even doing Magi would be Studio Mappa, but I don't know if I want that, because they're Studio Mappa, they're so overwhelmed. It's like,
yeah, nah.
You can only do so much for so many animes. So it's like one of the animes got to take the hit.
Yeah, nah, I wouldn't want Maggie to do that. It can come into another season, possibly, when there's not a lot going on, in my honest opinion. So maybe that'd be something we can look at. I think that would work. But
yeah,
I mean, they do good with the characters, but to me, I think it does become a bit of an Alibaba and Sinbad show eventually.
Well, not necessarily. You have, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but Alibaba, Aladdin, Hakuryu, Sinbad, so, and a few others. So there are definitely, it's not just two people that became like the primary focus of the series after a while, but it does focus more on those two based on what happens.
I'm about to say Alibaba and Aladdin. I mean, to me, I'm joining them as the same, because they're really entwined.
Well, they're the main characters.
Yeah, they're entwined. They're connected. if that makes sense. So I'm counting them as one. But I mean, I don't want to dig too deep into that, like you said.
I mean, because there are definitely some other people. There's definitely some other characters that definitely play a role with later in the story of Maggie.
Oh yeah, they do.
We don't have to touch on that.
Yeah, no, they do. I suggest anyone to just go finish it, give it a good read, in my opinion, just in case they don't bring it back. But with everything coming back as far as Trigun, Blue Exorcist being remade or picked back up, I'm not going to knock out anything or disqualify anything for coming back. But yeah. I think that's good for Maggie. Now the last one is an older one, Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh yeah. Dead Man Wonderland. Yeah. I remember I was watching that on Toonami back in the day.
Yep, 2011 episodes. It had only 12 episodes.
12 episodes, yep.
And
it didn't last at all.
It didn't last at all. But I heard it had a lot of hype. But I think that, like the Dreamcast, it came out in the wrong time period, I guess. If that makes sense.
You can say that. I mean, yeah, you can say that, yeah.
I mean, you gotta really think. It came out 2011. That's peak of the big three, which had good writing, good characters, but it wasn't, as dark. Dead Man Wonderland was pretty dark.
It was pretty dark. You're right.
So,
like literally the first episode, whole classroom
got
wiped out.
Right.
Besides, what's his name, Gonta.
Yep.
Main character.
So with that being said, I think that it could have went further, in my honest opinion. I think that it was an interesting concept, especially watching and reading it. That having read it in a long time, me and you discussed that before we started there. We read it way back in the day, and I don't remember it being necessarily bad. So with that being said, I think, like you said, with the Dark Trio coming out and everyone liking dark stuff, this would fit right in.
Yeah, that and Serafino and those two out of this list for Anime That Need to Return definitely fit right into that dark trio of dark tone anime.
Yep.
So we definitely need more of those to come back, or more of those to be created. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, me too. I absolutely agree.
Anime that actually needs a reboot.
Hold on. That's for a whole different episode.
Look, let's just name a few. I don't see there's anything wrong with naming some anime versus actually, we don't have to explore them, but we could just name a couple of them.
I mean, that could be a thing, but we're also still at 15 minutes. Just like that, you didn't even realize that. Feels like 5.
Ew.
So with that being said,
I'm gonna wrap this shit up.
Yeah, exactly what time it is. So once again, thank you for all listening. Thank you for coming to the channel. Brad, I appreciate you jumping on again for this episode. No, probably the next video or in the next few videos, we'll record the reboot anime, and that has a lot. This one had 5. That one is pushing 8, and by the time it's created, it possibly could get up to 10. So that would be a longer video.
And definitely, let us know if there was any anime that needs to return that we left out on our list. Please definitely comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, please.
Yep, just leave the comments. We there for the most part. All right, let us know y'all take.